All right, big things happening yesterday at the White House. Multi-country peace deal, Bahrain, United Arab Emirates, Israel, United States of America, and a multilateral peace deal where they're going to open up commercial relations, they're going to open up international travel. And to break it down, one of my dear friends who's with us all the time, Teisha Powell, joins us right now. She's a nationally recognized legal analyst, also the author of Trump Must Win, Discover the Dark Days Ahead Americans Will Face If Trump Isn't Reelected in 2020. Teisha, thank you for joining us, dear. How great is this? I know the left-wing media doesn't want to talk about it or give Trump any credit, but how great is this peace deal for the whole world, in fact?
It's peace. I mean, what do we want to do? We want war? No, we want peace. I mean, this is incredible. This is exciting news. And I'm just surprised that the liberal media, they're really like not picking up on the story, or they're writing stuff that are negative, saying that peace would have been accomplished regardless of President Trump anyway, or that this is the only thing that President Trump has done. No, there's a lot of things that President Trump has done, but this is one of the greatest ones. We're getting peace in the Middle East. I mean, we're not going for war, John. Who would want war?
I don't know who would want war. I mean, warmongers, people that are, committed to the military-industrial complex, like George Bush's family and stuff. The Dick Cheneys of the world, the John Boltons of the world, the warmongers. But way back when we were in the studio, my good friends from the Republican Jewish Coalition came down. They brought me this special yarmulke, and it's a Trump yarmulke. And I'm going to just throw it on now to celebrate the peace treaty, because I think Israel has been unfairly treated over history. I mean, they were chased out of their land. They had an attempted extermination of the whole race at the hands of Hitler. They came back to, a sliver of the land which they had once claimed as their own. And they've had to fight to protect that little sliver of land throughout history, basically. So it is quite amazing that God put someone like Donald Trump on earth to stand arm in arm with the Israelis and now go to the Arab countries and say, hey, guys, enough is enough already. Let's all be friends here, because we all believe in some faith, and God is love. Let's have some love and peace. And he really did it, I think.
I mean, if you read the Bible and you read prophecy, the book of Revelation, we've got to back Israel. And this is why we must back President Trump, because President Trump is backing Israel. If you're a Christian, go ahead and read the book of Revelation. You see that we need to side with Israel. Whatever is good for Israel is good for America, and it's good for Christianity. So I'm just reminding Christians that President Trump really is a godsend, because President Trump is seeking peace in the Middle East, and President Trump is pro-Israel, and that's what we need in America. We need a government that's going to stand up for Israel, because Jesus was Jew. Jesus came as a Jew at the end of the day, and the whole Bible is about Israel being the chosen group, and we have to back Israel no matter what cost it's going to be at.
Yeah, I mean, it is, probably a point not lost on everyone, but some, that Jesus Christ, the Son of the Lord, was born in the manger in Bethlehem, right? And he came from what is now known as Israel, right? So Jesus Christ is what the Christian faith is based upon. And our country here in America was founded on Christian principles. It says on our money, in God we trust. Okay? So people have to realize that a guy like Trump, he may have been through divorces. He may have been a philanderer when he was a young billionaire. But at least he recognizes that the Christian right has a real connection to Israel, because it's the birthplace of Christ. And I like the way you put that so eloquently. Thank you, dear. And I know you're a God-fearing, God-loving woman, and that's why you're so successful and you honor the Lord all the time. But Jim Cramer, it turns out, did not give Nancy Pelosi the honor she thinks she deserves. Take a look at this clip from yesterday when Kramer addressed Nancy Pelosi.
And I think Secretary Mnuchin, I mean, what deal can we have, Crazy Nancy? I'm sorry, that was the president. I have such reverence for the office, I would never use that term. But it is hard,
you just
isn't
did.
it? Oh, come on.
But you just did.
You know what I mean.
But she said, he said it. He called her Crazy Nancy to her face. Her teeth almost came flying out. I don't know if you noticed that. Her dentures were all rattling around in her mouth. You know, she looked like she was ready to snap. But CNBC is on NBC. That's like a really left-wing channel. MSNBC, Morning JO is on that same family of companies. And that's usually like home court advantage to Democrats. Now Jim Cramer is taking aim out and calling on Crazy Nancy on TV. I like that.
And you know what? I think he's being truthful. And Kramer's saying what we all want to say. Pelosi's crazy. Her policies are crazy. And I'm glad that she was called crazy in front of a lot of people. Sadly, though, a lot of celebrities on Twitter are taking to it and saying that this is a woman issue. It's not a woman issue. If someone is crazy, they're crazy, whether they're a man or a woman. Pelosi's policies are crazy. It means she must be crazy. And if she's not crazy, she's insane.
Well, let me ask you this. I know I actually responded to some Twitter posts saying that Kramer should be fired. Over the course of the years, I have sued Jim Cramer. I've been on the show. I hate him. But I do love what he did here because he said it like it is, which he's usually full of crap. But isn't it high time more people on television start saying it like it is, like Jim Cramer did?
It is, but I do understand what people are saying, that we need to respect the office. So even if a crazy person like Pelosi is in the office, we need to have respect for the Speaker of the House.
Okay, but Teisha, respect the. You want us to respect the Speaker of the House, then respect the office of the President. And we're not getting any respect for the office of the President from the left. So at some point, you know, decorum goes to the wind, if you ask me. But they're twisting it now, right? They're twisting it into this was a sexist remark. He only said she's crazy because she's a woman. So now the Me Tooers are back out there tweetering away about sexism for calling Nancy Pelosi crazy. But yet, where are all these same people? Where is Alyssa Milano? Where are all the people out there fighting, twittering about the NFL allowing their players to put a rapist's name on their helmet or on their jersey? Okay, this guy, Jacob Blake, was accused of rape. He was indicted for rape. He had an order of protection against him. He went out to the house and started, you know, attempting to rape the same woman again. And then he gets into an altercation with cops where he has a deadly weapon on him. He gets shot. I get all the cop stuff. But what about that woman who has to sit there and know that her rapist is being honored by the National Football League? What about that woman? Where are the Me Too people protesting the NFL for honoring rapists?
That's the problem in America, John. It's double standard. If it's conservative, we're going to attack them. If it's liberal, we're just going to let them go. And that's the problem we're having here in America. And this is why we need President Trump. Because at the end of the day, we need to do what's right and fair for us all. We need jobs. We need more God in our lives. We need more goodness in our lives. And we need to walk away from evil. The Democratic Party is evil. It's a socialist agenda. It is a crazy agenda. And it's just whatever goes these days. I mean, we've got to put an end to this. We've got to put a stop to this.
It's absolutely crazy. And in the same breath, while the NFL is honoring rapists, the Black Lives Matter movement was actually co-founded by this dude who has an arrest on his record for child sex trafficking. So here's another wacky pedophile thing. And he's one of the co-founders of the Black Lives Movement. I mean, Teisha, I don't know, I've asked you this before, but would you ever think about voting for Joe Biden?
No, will not be voting for Joe Biden.
So then,
Will not.
according to Joe Biden, you ain't black.
Partly that's what he's saying, but there's a lot of black people that will be voting for Trump. You
Yeah.
know, Joe Biden is having a lot of problems in the polls. I heard he's down in Florida because his poll numbers are down. I think he's just spiraling downwards, and I think that reality is just beginning to pick up with Biden. That
No doubt
he's not-
about it. The biggest favorable he has is 62% of the people say they're voting for Joe Biden because he's not Donald Trump. That's his biggest favorable. Biggest favorable about you is you're the best. You're always with us whenever we ask for you. And I hope you enjoy that bike ride, dear. Have a great day.
Thank you, John.
Teisha Powell, one of our top legal analysts. And there's a little bit more news of the day, and you're not going to believe how we wrap up today's show.